About PLC Troubleshooting and Maintenance. My name is JP Sujit Kumar, 17TU-W228, Triple EC. I am studying in Sri Krishna College of Technology. My department is Triple E, third year. The basic difference between the PLC and normal controllers are the PLC, which can access many combinations, many sum of inputs, can decide a single factor. It can control many networks in one device. That's called PLC, which is programmable logic controller. The basic necessity of PLC is to increase the productivity and to reduce the manpower in the industries. And basically, the humans cannot able to work for 24 hours, but the machines and the assembly line, which is fully automated, which can work for 24 bar 7 every day and each year, which will not stop any. If some problem occurs, the PLC will take decision and shows the error. It's used to monitor the entire system in a whole setup in the industry. It's called where the PLC is major roles, like humans, which we will decide based on the sensors, and our brain will think like that. The PLC will also have the one core brain is called the controllers, and the inputs given from the sensors to take the decision and the output is as sent as that's all. Second thing, the machines in PLC will work based on the in machine on single machine is there is a proximity sensors, there is a level sensor, there is a pressure sensor. In every gauge the pressure is correct, our actuators are working correct, mnemonics are working correct, pneumatic system is working correct. Is everything is analyzed by PLC system. Which advantages are the often problem will not occur whenever the works on manually. Sometimes we carelessly may made some mistake, the entire machine setup will collapse, but is very fully automated, the collapsation is avoided. That's all. It's only it's needed is the regular periodical troubleshooting and maintenance is required for PLC, because sometimes the sensor may damage. For that, the periodical checking was required. It's not necessary for an year. It's 1 day is required to analyze to troubleshoot and maintenance the PLC. The controller is a part of an automatic control system. Which we can say the controller is a part of an automatic system, because it's only the brain of the control system. That's only we are sensing that the signal from the sensors and send it to the actuators. It's nothing but simply actuator means which actuates the signals, which will induces the any huge machine to run. That's all. Where the single 24 volt or 12 volt signal can actuate the motors. The actuators the actuators, which is a coil based, which is maybe contactor or something, which is a closed loop, should be an closed loop, because it should be in feedback. If actuator something's a problem, it should be sensor signals, and controller should not send to the signal to the actuators. It should be in feedback process. That's all. It's a closed loop control system. It's better whenever the controller is used, we should use always only closed loop control system. See, this is a PLC. This is a PLC, which is a Siemens, which has an output terminals of 6 and input terminals of 8. It's an PLC. It's a programming cable. It's a battery. And basically the programming cable and the input terminals and output terminals, or input I bar 0, I bar 1 is all used to input terminals, which is from the sensors. And another is an output terminal, which is an 24 volt DC output is sent to the actuators. Function of this understanding of an PLC, which is based on the backside, which is again this RS-232 cable, and which is used to programming. Which is also used to programming. Sometimes the programming cable also is there. It can be also used to program, and then the out and upside the input terminal is there, and earthing terminals also is there. It's used. Another thing, the PLC micro is an one micrologic company 1500 PLC specifications, which is a PLC part number. It's an company made number which is used to based on the manufactured year and their ports. It's and also the PLC operating power for different models is given, and the inputs will be varied depending on the models. So sometimes the minimum 12 inputs is there in this company's model, and maximum 16 input is there, and maybe high, but outputs on the 12 outputs always are 12 for this, and relays and 6 relay and 6 FET transistors, which is act as a switch. That's all. Field effect transistors. Step 1, how to select in PLC. The selection of PLC is based on the selecting the input terminals, input numbers of required input, which we are going to send the signal to the input will vary based on the we are using sensors and actuators, and also the actuators is based on the outputs. And third thing, the length of the program, and the logic should be in precise, and it should be an easy, time complexity should be less. It's called the three shift should be always used to when we select the PLC. And second thing, in ladder logic and instruction lists, the two types of programming is there. Within instructions, normal text based programming which will type, but in ladder logic it's based on environments, normally closed and normally open. That's all. It's an programming window which will actually we can see the previously loaded program, which is used to enabling the editing or reducing or troubleshooting the if any program erroring is occurred and during the maintenance period. A common industrial hardware representing the binary concepts, right? Yes, that there are common industrial hardware representing the binary concepts: on, off, ringing, silent, alarm bell. It's all how when we in motor running stopped. It's when it's on, it will be running motor, but when it's off, it will be stopped. We will not run. But in clutch means in bike we can see, right? When the clutch is released, it got engaged. Which is off. When we off, which when we press towards us, it will disengage. That's all. Valve means only closer, only open. That's all. Closer valve means with what to say, in big pipes and all, we use the valves to control the pressures, right? It's called, that's all. Push button, close to open. That's all. Based on the push buttons, the motor starters are controlled by using PLC, using the start delta starters, dual starters, and many type of starters are there. But we are used to control based on the push button. Machine language basics. English, and have two characters available. Each one is 10 or the binary digit or binary enable byte word. PLC input and output. The typical digital input as C. The PLC always will have 24, 12 volt DC, 24 volt DC, and then 120 volt AC and 240 volt. Indian based system will use up to 240 volt AC systems, whereas in America based system we will use 12 volt DCs and 120 volt AC system. But India, basically they use 24 volt DC system where the response is more. That's all. We use 24 volt DC system. Analog inputs, we know the analog inputs, which is continuous input. It's wave input. It has an variation from 0 to 10 volts and minus 10 to 10 volts and 5 to 5 volts in some to like that. 4 to 20 milliamps, 0 to 20 milliamps, minus 22 plus 20 milliamps. Connections from field devices: two-wire transistors, power supply, and then field wiring arm. In it's based on that. That's all. Connections from field devices: different analog input connections, two-wire transistor. It's all the combination of analog input connections, how they connected in PLC. Basics of PLC programming: components in enclosure. We use the enclosure. How to install to the main maintenance, we use the enclosures to avoid the dusters in the PLC terminals, to avoid the rust formation and to oil, and mostly it will guard it will protect the PLC from any other environmental factors. Enclosure is based on the protection is which is called in this protection closure we use it to connect us from the which is connected to the output from the sensors. It's called big PLC, and the cooling fan is also installed to control to stabilize the temperature inside the enclosure. It's called duct wire layout. What to say? They used to minimize. What to say? They we don't know. The wires are more right. It is installed. It will not be opened. It is inserted in some the plastic conduct cable tray, and they installed it, which is nothing but this is called plastic conduct cable tray, right? It's called this and then power requirements, it's only already studied, right? It's called safety circuitry. Safety circuitry always includes the earthing system and the emergency switch, which will always will be opened. If the emergency switch is pressed, the automatically the entire system will be stopped. That's all. It's PSV emergency PB1 means it's from maybe in starting an emergency, it will terminating end. If in starting itself any error occurs, maybe in middle the error may occur. For that, this emergency is used. That's all. This is because it's called a safety circuitry. Emergency switch is used. Relays connections are used. PLC fault conduct protection also used. PLC maintenance is fan regular. We also maintain 0 to 60 degrees Celsius. Noise regulation. What to say? The terminal should be each and terminal should be inserted properly. Otherwise, the spark may become. Noise generation devices. In every PLC devices, which is alpha, which is maybe Siemens, and maybe it contains all cooling fan to reduce the every magnetics and solenoids, magnetic based working devices always generate some noise, right? uh, that's all about the noise, PLC maintenance. PLC troubleshooting. If maybe sometimes the noise from grounding, the every sensors maybe used reference as a ground. For that, the noise from the ground is avoided, and then shading changes and analog inputs are also used. That's all. PLC installation we used to basically based on the output and input. PLC is installed. YS's consideration and YS's consideration based on the requirement, based on the sensor. The wire size requirement is used. Sometimes the sensor has maybe three terminals. That is, you should not use a single wire system. It should be in code cable wire system to avoid the damages. That's all. Thank you. About PLC troubleshooting and maintenance.